Hey everybody, it's Matt Mayoko to NBC Sports Bay Area checking in on Friday. 49ers wrapped up their final practice of the week on Friday. They'll be heading out to the airport, getting on the team charter and flying to Miami later this evening. As for yours truly, I'll be on a flight early in the morning, 5 a.m. out of Oakland, go to Fort Lauderdale. And of course, I'll be joining Jennifer Lee Chan out there in Miami. Miami Gardens, Florida is where the Dolphins play their home game. So that's Hard Rock Stadium. Be out there for the game on Sunday. Week 16? No, week 15. No, I think it is week 16. Week 16, 15th game of the year for the 49ers as they face the Dolphins. Some injury updates, but first, let me remind you that this video is brought to you by Canyon Club Brewery. It's located in Moraga. It's pretty close to where I live, so I get there quite often because of their wide variety and styles of beers, as well as their menu items, some tasty bites, and it's all in a very family-friendly atmosphere in Moraga. They have TVs out there. They have the fire pit. You can bring the family dog, bring the whole family. There's something there for everybody. And then it's also coming soon to the Livery in Danville. So be sure to check that out. Canyon Club Brewery. Okay, so here's the 49ers injury report for this week. The two guys who certainly will not play, Trent Williams. So that means another start for Jalen Moore. And with Trent Williams, probably a pretty good chance at this point that he won't be available for the remainder of the season, which means two games, the Monday night game against the Lions and then the season finale against the Cardinals. And by the way, I know a lot of people have wondered that last game of the season, it's either a Saturday or a Sunday. The NFL tries to kind of read the room a little bit and figure things out and have some meaningful games on Saturday. I would think it's 100% the 49ers and the Cardinals will be playing on Sunday to wrap up the season. And the main reason is because the 49ers have that Monday night game. So that'd be coming back not only on a short week, but a 1 week shorter week than ordinary. So I would think that would be a Sunday game, the final game of the season. So Trent Williams is out. Another start for Jalen Moore. Another opportunity for him to put good stuff on film and perhaps look at getting a starting job for some team next season. Could it be the 49ers? Potentially. I asked Chris Furster, 49ers offensive line coach, about Jalen Moore and about he did mention that when they first got him, they thought that he might be better suited to guard. And I asked him if that's still the case. And he said, no, he considers him more of a tackle now, ideally a swing tackle. But the way he talked about Jalen Moore, he suggested that he believes that he is a starting tackle in the league. It's just a matter of finding the right team. So we'll see how the 49ers proceed with that. We'll see how Jalen Moore proceeds with free agency. The other player who is ruled out is Isaac Guerendo. So that means um, I wouldn't say necessarily a start, although I would anticipate that Patrick Taylor Jr. will get the starting assignment. But it has also been something the 49ers have done in the past is to start Deebo Samuel back there in the offensive backfield. So whether Patrick Taylor actually starts or not, kind of semantics. I do expect him to be the guy who carries the bulk of the load. So it will be with Isaac Guerendo out for this game due to the foot and hamstring injuries. It's going to be Patrick Taylor. It's going to be Keyshawn Vaughn. It's going to be Deebo Samuel. And then also I would anticipate that Israel Abanikanda will get his first action with the 49ers and his first action of the season. He was a draft pick of the Jets last year, played in 6 games as a rookie, was inactive for every game this season, was waived. 49ers claim him. So decent chance that he'll be on the field. One thing that needs to be pointed out is whoever's out there, as the lights go on here, whoever's out there is going to be ultra prepared because that is Bobby Turner's forte as the running backs coach, to have his guys prepared. He gives them written tests that they have to turn in homework before practice. So look for the 49ers to really try to do what they've done in the past as far as getting that running game going. And I would expect that Patrick Taylor, another 49ers starting running back, and it's a long list of guys who have started at the running back position since Kyle Shanahan has been with the 49ers. Look for Patrick Taylor. I think he'll have a good game. I think he'll probably set a career high. I think his career high is like 53 yards at the end of his rookie season with the Packers. He had a game that he rushed for 53 yards. I expect him to set a new career high for him. Okay, guys who are questionable, and I looked it up. 49ers, about 70%, 71% of the guys that they have listed as questionable this season have ended up playing in those games. Nick Bosa, questionable. I think that one's kind of iffy. I think he would be, if I think Dre Greenlaw is questionable, I think he's going to play. I don't think there's any question in my mind he's going to play in this game. And then a new injury update. Robert Beal, defensive end, second-year player. He rolled his ankle in practice, so he's listed as questionable as well. But Jalen Moore, who had seen limited time this week with a hip injury, he will practice. As I mentioned, he'll start at left tackle. Malik Mustafa back in the starting lineup after missing a game with a chest injury. And who else? Malik Collins, who had an illness and was held out of practice for a couple games or a couple days. He'll be back starting as well. So that is the injury update for the 49ers as they look to get that offense rolling. Kyle Shanahan had some interesting things to say about, the whole perspective of, does he have to reinvent himself? He answered that question in the terms of, coaches are always reinventing themselves, or they're always adjusting, they're always evolving. He said that he learned early in his coaching career that you just can't take one cookie cutter system and move it to another team and expect the same results. You have to adapt to the players around, the players that you have. And for instance, when he was with Washington, they basically studied the read option, the college quarterback system, or this college system that Robert Griffin used at Baylor, and implemented that. And he said that, 2 years ago, when the 49ers had Trey Lance as their starter, it was more of a running system, a different system than what is now in place. So, he kind of, I guess you would expect him to say that, push back a little bit on the idea that they haven't been evolving. They're trying to find those right pieces in place. And, part of it is, so many teams around the NFL, this is a talking point. So many teams around the NFL use a variation of Kyle Shanahan's system, about 18 teams by last count, but not all of them run the exact same stuff because they all have different personnel on their team. So it's constantly evolving, and that'll be the chore as the 49ers head into the offseason, will be to find something that works for the players that they have. And next season, they expect to have the players that they had last year and the year before back with the team. Christian McCaffrey for a full season, get Brandon Ayuk back on the field. And by the way, I did see Ayuk for the first time, I think, since his surgery. Saw him on two crutches, heading out to his car, going through physical therapy. So Brandon Ayuk appeared to be in good spirits as he's now kind of ramping up his rehab to try to get ready for as early in the 2025 season as possible. One funny note from Kyle Shanahan, Brock Purdy, 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy, who has said that he feels like he's evolved more in a leadership role this season. Not waiting to just kind of speak up whenever he feels the time is right, picking his spots. He seems to be more kind of in tune with the leadership aspect of the game. One of the things he said was that he feels like that's where he's made the biggest strides this year, but he does want to get back out there and he says play more with the chip on his shoulder. No one really seems to know exactly what he means by that, because Shanahan said that he believes that Brock Purdy has about as big a chip on his shoulder as anyone he's ever coached. Certainly a byproduct of being the final overall pick in the 2022 draft and having to earn everything. But from the way I kind of read it, was Purdy talking about cutting it loose and not being afraid to make mistakes. Because I think a lot of times whenever you're trying to be perfect, that's when mistakes happen. It's holding the ball a split second too long. And then by the time you finally pull the trigger and you let it go, oftentimes that window has closed when a play was out there to be made. So I kind of read it as Brock Purdy saying he just needs to be more decisive and quick and not overthink things all that much. The other thing that it went out on social media yesterday was that Brock Purdy, he supplied his offensive linemen with Toyota Tacomas and Toyota Sequoias. So some really nice automobiles that he supplied for his offensive linemen. And of course, Brock Purdy he does endorse Toyota. And one of the things that Shanahan said was it shows that he's a hell of a guy and that he got a hell of a deal. So right now, Brock Purdy probably couldn't really afford getting his offensive linemen all those automobiles at the salary he's making, which is right around $1 million, which is what, about 1/55th or 1/60th of what he'll probably be averaging with his new contract. But Brock Purdy delivering for his offensive linemen. And now, obviously, he hopes that those offensive linemen deliver for him and the running game for Patrick Taylor and everybody else on Sunday when the 49ers return to action against the Miami Dolphins. So thanks so much for watching this video. Leave a comment and a like, and please subscribe if you haven't already. And next time you'll hear from me, I will be in Miami getting ready for that 49ers Dolphins game. Probably check in with you on Saturday after the 49ers make some anticipated moves, maybe calling some guys up from the practice squad to be available for the game on Sunday. So once again, thanks for watching, and that is it for now.